everyone, it's Mona here at Klatch, and it's Friday. That means it's another Coaster Friday, and today we're going to do a cat silhouette coaster. I prepared my resin, and you can use either the Easy Cast or the Envirotex Light. Either one will work just fine. And I'm using some of my Pearl X pigment powders in a yellow and a Aztec gold, I believe it is. So I've already prepared the resin, and what I need to do is have a nice yellow background to make it look like a moon, and I want to use the pigment powders because I think that will create a nice look. And it'll be kind of shimmery like the moon is. You know, I'll add some pigment powder, mix it in, and I'll put just a little bit of the darker one in, just a little. So I'll put it in, I'll let it sit for a few minutes, I'll grab my lighter and pop any of the bubbles that rise to the top, and then I will let this sit a minimum of 12 hours. The resin has cured, and now I just need to put on my kitties. I drew this a long time ago, and I always wanted to do something with it, and this I thought was the perfect time, so I broke it out. I scanned it into the computer, printed it on my laser printer, and cut it out. Once I cut it out, and I have it on cardstock because I like to do it on the cardstock because it's just easier to Mod Podge with. And I took my Sharpie pen, went on the edge so I wouldn't have a white edge. And now all I have to do is Mod Podge these two right onto the moon so it looks like it's their silhouette by the moon. I'm going to use the Super Gloss Mod Podge, and I'm using that because it doesn't leave nearly as white a film as the regular Mod Podge. So a little background on my cats. I have two. The first one is Spooky. She's been around for 11 years now, almost 11 years, and she walked in when she was somewhere between 6 months and a year as a stray. And she came and stayed, and 2.5 years ago, my black cat Pouffy came, and Pouffy's a he, Spooky's a she, and they've had an adjustment period, but I think they're there now. They're kind of buds, they're not close like this, but I thought this was very representative of them in terms of their looks, and it's still a little bit of a love-hate relationship, where Pouffy loves her, she doesn't love him so much, but that's okay. Alright, so I put the Mod Podge all over the coaster base. I put it on the back of the silhouette. And now I'm going to put it all over the front. I'm going to take my finger when it's full of Mod Podge, squish everything down. That'll get rid of any of the air bubbles, help it lay flatter. Now's the time to adjust it if you need to adjust it. I'm going to repeat this 1 to 2 more times, just depending on how I feel the coverage is, and let it dry completely between the coats, and before we come back it needs to completely dry. So I like to let it dry overnight when I put that last coat on. The Mod Podge has dried, and I have mixed a little more resin, and I'm going to pour it right on top. Now this is a great way to preserve artwork, like kids artwork and stuff like that, so you don't necessarily have to have it hanging on the refrigerator, but it's kind of a memory piece. You can scan any kind of a picture into the computer, print it out, preferably on a laser printer, and then preserve it like this. It would even be a fun housewarming gift for somebody if you have some of their old artwork. Now I'm going to let these bubbles rise to the top, and I'm going to hit it with the lighter and just pop them. And I'm going to let this sit a minimum of 12 hours before I unmold it, and then we'll have another coaster. The resin has cured, so I can unmold the coaster. So here's my little silhouette of my kitty cats against the light of the moon. I hope you like it, and if you do, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that so you don't miss a thing. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We'll definitely see you next time. In the meantime, happy crafting and stay safe.